In a beautiful town called Aluba, there lived a very beautiful young girl called Uju, the only daughter of a very rich businessman known as Chief Ojemba. He is one of the wealthiest men in the town of Aluba and owns multiple businesses across the town and neighboring towns. Mr. Aluba always cared for his daughter and made sure she had everything money can offer. Uju was spoilt with riches, but she was a humble, respectful and kind girl, so she was well loved at home. She had 2 elder brothers as well. Mr. Ojemba always wanted to get Uju married off to one of the sons of his politician friend, for he was a well-connected man and he had a good influence in town of Aluba. Uju loved and respected her father so much, as he took care of her after her mom passed away when she was 5, so she thought the dad always her best interest at heart, so she always agreed to her dad's decision even on personal matters. But things were about to take a different turn. Chief Ojemba was invited as a special guest for the chieftaincy anniversary of Gerudo, the High Chief of Aluba, the ruler of Aluba town and a very wealthy man also. I was serving as one of the waiters at the occasion when his eyes locked on with Uju's. Uju could not concentrate the moment it happened. She totally lost all control, but she still managed to keep her cool. So I was assigned to serve drinks on table which Uju and her dad were. So when Eo took drinks to their table, as he was about to place some drinks on their table, I vigorously shoved him down and the drinks fell down and spilled on him and also on Uju. Without apologies, Mr. Ojemba left to his car. Then Uju felt sorry for Ayo and helped him rise up. Despite the ruin on her dress, she was captivated by Ayo's handsomeness, but she did not have enough time to know where he lived or even exchange contacts. So days went by and she decided to go to the venue to see if she could have a lead on Ayo's whereabouts. The venue manager was able to help her track Ayo and she went to look for him and apologized to him because the man who shoved him down was her father. But Ayo was not ready for any conversation, as he felt more hurt knowing the man was her father, and the vigorous push led to him breaking his arm. So for days he could not go to work, and relied on his savings which were on the verge of exhaustion. Out of pride and hurt, Ayo refused Uju's help and asked her to leave, so Uju reluctantly left but felt bad and pity for Ayo. But she decided not to give up, knowing that Ayo was unable to walk. So Uju decided to make meals for him and thought of doing so till he gets back on his feet. But when she got there, Ayo refused to see her or even eat her food, so she went back with it feeling bad by the rejection, for no one has ever treated her that way. Uju returns with a delicious meal, egusi soup and pounded yam, the aroma filling Ayo's room. Hungry and tired, Ayo hesitates but finally accepts the food, sharing a small smile, for it looked so delicious for Ayo to resist. So Ayo thought to himself, I am broke and hungry, I have to let down my pride. He added, he who brings food brings life. So he reluctantly took the food, and said he would eat when she leaves, but Uju insisted that she wanted to watch him eat, so she would know whether he likes the food or not. On having his first taste of the delicacy, Ayo exclaimed, for this I forgive both you, your father and your whole family members, while licking his hands. They both laughed as Ayo continued eating. Ayo's pride was defeated by hunger. So weeks passed, Uju and Ayo became very fond of each other and a day would not pass by without seeing each other. So Mr. Ojemba began to suspect that his daughter, who liked staying indoors, began to go out often, and when he asked her where she always goes, she would tell him she went to see a friend, but Mr. Ojemba was not satisfied with the answer he got from her, and decided to monitor her movement. So Mr. Ojemba hired someone to spy on his daughter and bring back reports to him. After gathering much information on Ayo, Mr. Ojemba was so angry that his only beloved daughter was seeing a common poor boy, that friendship, or whatever they call it, must not hold, and my daughter must get married to a wealthy and influential family, he added. So when Uju came back, her father called her, Uju. So you have been going to see that poor boy from that occasion? What do you have with him? Mr. Ojemba asked. Daddy, he is just my friend, Uju said in a very soft tone, "Don't lie to me, Uju. You have been going to see that useless boy now for weeks. I hope it is not what I am thinking, because anything you are doing with that poor brat will not stand," Mr. Ojemba angrily said and slammed the door. Uju was afraid that her father would do something bad to Ayu, so the next day, Uju went to Ayu's house to warn him about her father, because she knows how dangerous he can be. But before she could reach him, he had already gone. She met his room scattered like there was a sign of struggle. So she cried for a while and wondered if she would ever see him again. So Uju went to meet her dad to question why he would adopt someone against their own will, and also threatened to report him to the police if he doesn't release Ayu. But Mr. Ojemba was rather worried about creating a marriage alliance between his daughter and the son of the chief of Aluba town, Chief Gerudo, so he asked his daughter to go and relax that Ayu will be released after her marriage with Nedu, the son of Chief Gerudo. Uju was helpless and did not know what to do. So Uju was about to go to the market when she heard some voices from the living room, so she went close and saw her dad speaking with a young man dressed like a personal bodyguard, but she hadn't seen him before, so she decided to follow him until it led to an abandoned property owned by her father. The man went to give Ayu food after beating life out of him as instructed by the chief, as Ayu has been warned to leave town after the marriage of his daughter. So immediately the man left, Uju left her hiding place and quickly went to free Ayu. But Uju was very wise enough to take a video recording of her father and the man's conversation as evidence against the father in case she was to pursue a legal case against him. So Uju freed Ayu and took him to the hospital for proper medical care, cause he had been left in a very bad state. So 2 days later, when Chief went with his men to give Ayu the warning himself, he was shocked to find out that Ayu was gone. Chief Ojemba became so furious and screamed with so much fury, "Drago, where is Ayu?" He asked, but before Drago would even say a word, he immediately shot Drago and he died. Fear gripped his other men, so he warned them never to lose guard on any mission he sends them on, or they will face the same fate. So as he was about to leave, he saw a scarf which resembles that of his daughter Uju, and quickly knew that Uju had come to free Ayu, but how she found out was a mystery to him. So Chief sent out his men to search for Uju as the marriage between she and Nedu, the son of Chief Gerudo, was very close. But despite his efforts to find his daughter, everything proved unsuccessful. Chief Ojemba was a mean man, but was very kind towards his family, as he had a soft spot for his daughter and 2 older sons. So her wedding with Nedu was cancelled due to her absence, and Chief Ojemba became very sick due to overthinking, as he began to regret his actions. So one day his sons were worried about their sister's whereabouts and asked the father where their sister was. Even though Chief Ojemba was ashamed of what he did, he decided to open up and tell them the truth, as Uju was no longer taking his calls. So he begged his sons to call Uju back home and promised to support her and Ayu, since that was her desire. So after Uju got a call from her elder brother to return home, she was scared, but she trusted her brothers and did as they asked. So Uju and Ayu returned and met her dad on the sickbed. Chief Ojemba cried and begged Ayu to forgive him for how badly he had treated him, and promised to sponsor their marriage with whatever they needed. After Chief Ojemba recovered, he went back on his promise, and decided to end Ayu's life once and for all. So the sons of Chief Ojemba learnt about his evil intentions and leaked the secret to Uju and Ayu. With enough money they have gotten from Chief Ojemba and Uju's brothers, they both eloped to a very distant town. There they got married, had a family of their own, and established a sustainable business for themselves. But Uju wanted to put an end to the evil of her dad so he doesn't end up hurting other people. So Uju went to the press and released the video of her dad and his conversation with one of his men he shot dead, of how he kidnapped Ayu and tortured him. So the chief had not learnt about the news and was home relaxing in his compound when some uniformed men came and arrested him. He was tried in court, found guilty and sent to jail for 25 years for illegal adoption and torture of a person. So Chief Ojemba died in prison on the 15th year of his prison term, for he was so old to live in such a confined condition. So Uju and Ayo had a very big family and they lived the remaining years of their lives in fulfillment and so much joy.